This presentation is for Ensol Bioscience. Ensol Bioscience focuses on bio-big data and has succeeded developing new drugs on 7 different categories, and recently is diversifying its business model to animal treatment. So let's have a President Kim Hae-jin from Ensol Bioscience. Good to see you, President
Yes,
Kim.
good to see you.
So even based on this short introduction, I'm looking forward to seeing your presentation. Could you begin?
Sure. Ensol Bioscience is working on developing an innovative medical treatment to cure the incurable. So for today's presentation, I would like to begin with our key value and the new pipeline briefly, and then I'll move on to our development and growth vision. Our core value is to treat the incurable and their corresponding capability, and our developments from the capability. And just like any other organization, what matters here is people. We have creative people, limited number of people, who enjoy this field with calling. And the technology we possess is, just like you just said, based on our new drug, we find a non-toxic but highly efficient drug to come up with this core technology to provide alternative and candidate drugs. And our company has a lot of special experts of our MBD, and doctor's degree and master's degree holders account for over 90% of the company. So it's highly professional. And for our technology, based on our bio-big data and knowledge, we find out this candidate material developing platform, which is KISDD, standing for knowledge based in silico drug discovery. So when administered in the human body, we minimize toxicity and maximize efficacy, and we find out that kind of drug based on our technology. So, based on our expertise, knowledge, and platform, we secured this core patent. So for degenerative herniated intervertebral disc and neuropeptide or triple negative breast cancer, Alzheimer's disease, and type 1 diabetes, among others, we want to provide therapy for those incurable diseases, and we do have possessed treatments. Let's move on to new drug pipeline. Please take a look at the thumbnail here. This shows the stages of clinical trials. And what we are advancing is musculoskeletal disease. So currently, this technology is exported to Spine Biopharma through Global LO via Yuhan Corporation and waiting for a third trial. And for degenerative neuropeptide, we're working on the first trial in Korea. And while TMBC, there is no clear treatment, but we have just finished our developing and we are about to begin our clinical trial, and also developing on Alzheimer's disease treatment, and also working on type 1 diabetes treatment. And for animal treatment, currently we got approval for animal treatment in Korea, so we're providing products in Korea. And last March, 10 major global companies imported our technology, so we're exporting that technology to overseas. And continuously, we are using drugs for humans to animals to expand our market. In one example, here is P2K. It's a Munel 2000. This is a degenerative HID cure and working on the third clinical trial. So Yuhan Corporation conducted a clinical research, and Spine Biopharma analyzed that data, and they administered this to patients in stage 3 and figured out that was the most efficient group. So they figured out the most effective group, which means once this finishes the third clinical trial, then there is high possibility that this will hit the global market. So the fourth quarter of 2022 or the first quarter of 2023, we are looking forward to getting an approval from FDA to expand to the global market. Next is neuropeptide treatment. There are a lot of patients of this disease, and just like I said before, by using clinical animal trials, we already sell these products, and 10 major global companies import this from us. So we already have this platform, and all the results of the animal clinical trials and tests, we can translate the results into human therapy, and our clinical trials are working on human patients, so with proving its safety, and we're searching for exploratory efficacy as well as find its relationship with pain. So we want to find out that if this has utility of cartilage regeneration, and from first to second and third clinical trials, we're keep working on developing this drug. Next is CADIS, C1K, TNBC anti-cancer therapy. The triple negative breast cancer can be found in 2 in 10 breast cancer patients, and there is no clear cure, so it is urgent to find a treatment. And we use paclitaxel, which is in short PTX. We use this and our own material and conducted treatment. And this paclitaxel is highly effective, however, it has high toxicity. So we want to decrease its toxicity and increase efficacy, and at the same time deter metastasis. So we want to catch 3 stones with 1 stone, and we did develop this, and we are preparing for a clinical trial. The fourth is Moria 1000, an Alzheimer's disease treatment, and a lot of global pharmaceutical companies failed coming up with a treatment. But for us, one dosage showing 4 different results with low toxicity is what we're trying to do. And take a look at this slide. The global company Pfizer stopped its development of azarlegon, which was TP488. It was highly toxic. However, our dosage shows almost same effect, however, it shows low toxicity. So if we find out the underlying logics of this, then we'll make a success in the future. Next is type 1 diabetes treatment. Type 1 diabetes is known to have autoimmunity disease, which means that our immune system cannot tell foes or allies, and they just destroy our good cells. So pancreas beta cell generating insulin cannot be generated because our autoimmunity disease attacks this. So once you get type 1 diabetes, then you have to get insulin injected for the entire life. But if we use this S1K, as shown on the slide, we prevent our cells destroying our own cells, and at the same time, we increase the release of insulin, and we are currently conducting more research. So if we can track down the logics of this type 1 diabetes, then we can deal with this. And we are conducting precedent study of neuropeptide, and recently we got approval for this joint vaccine, and we're delivering this to animal hospitals. And we're working on exporting our technology. And for example, for musculoskeletal disease, we are about to begin our third clinical trial by exporting our technology to Spine Biopharma through Yuhan Corporation. And also, we are working on our neuropeptide treatment as well, and having first trial in Korea. And for the TNBC, we're looking forward to expand to the global market in 2022. And for Alzheimer's disease, some may wonder, this small company is developing an Alzheimer's disease treatment. However, we're not working on this treatment having only one dosage effect, but we're working on a dosage showing 4 different approaches. So we will define the efficacy and function of this treatment to come up with a new innovative drug. And we're working on developing and expanding our efficacy of our drugs. As you may know, if we successfully come up with a degenerative HID treatment, then we will further expand to cervical herniated disc. And as for arthritis, then we can expand to arm joint or frozen shoulder or coxa. And for TNBC, the Caris 1000, this decreases TGF-beta alk5, so it can be used for other fields. For example, inflammation, cancer, and metastasis, among other diseases are related, and these diseases decreases the release of this. And by expanding this, we can deal with rare diseases including fibrosis, and immune system or central nervous system. We can increase efficacy, and we can massively expand our pipeline. So far, I'll summarize what I have been talking about. So, our company, Ensol Bioscience, is having this key factor, and we are focusing on developing safety to minimize toxicity and maximize efficacy. And our key asset is safety and flexible new drug development, and we do have this platform. And based on that platform, we have achieved accomplishments, and this can deal degenerative HID, neuropeptide treatment for both people and animals. And based on this platform and the Trinity accomplishment, we can rapidly and without mistakes, we can precisely develop those new drugs. So based on this capacity, we can develop our pipelines, follow-up pipelines, and by structural improvement, we can come up with neuropeptide treatment and TNBC anti-cancer treatment and other efficacy enhanced treatment, and Alzheimer's disease as well as type 1 diabetes. And through technological export, we will show the reason for our existence. And we're currently enlisted on CONEX, but we're planning to enlist on CoStock as well in the future to maximize our value. And in 3 years, we will become a unicorn company and become a global biopharmaceutical company. So that was the end of my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you for your presentation. So, what came up on my mind is that nowadays there's a growing attention, expectation, and needs in this field. So, people have a lot of growing attention of Ensor bioscience. So, to investors, do you have any last words to say, President Kim?
So we're mainly focusing on neuropeptide treatment, and there are a lot of patients. And currently, there is TMOA, the structural improvement of joint cartilage treatment, is lacking. And we're currently working on this clinical treatment trial. And in June, we will see the first result, and we are planning to develop this drug. And already we have enough efficacy and results as a good drug, and we have proved its potentials. That is why 10 major global pharmaceutical companies are importing our technology. So we have bright future. And another thing is that, as I have mentioned, is the triple negative breast cancer treatment. So in terms of natural occurrence, in laboratories, typically we conduct trials on artificial occurred cancer animals, but when we conduct this on natural occurred cancer animals, if we minimize this toxicity dramatically and increase the anti-cancer capacity and deters metastasis, then not only the aforementioned diseases, but inflammation, anti-cancer or TGF-5s, alpha 5, among other diseases, can use this technology. So this is a very important asset. So we have high expectations in these two.
I see, I see. Since you have succeeded in animal treatment, so I personally would like to look forward to seeing your success in human trials as well. So far, we have listened to Ensol Biosciences presentation. Thank you.